Part two of how I allowed a man to fumble me. So, I allowed a man to manipulate me into doing things that Lord knows I would never do. Okay? I allowed a man to tell me things that I knew wasn't right, but because I loved him, I listened to everything he told me. I allowed a man to hurt me with the same words that I told to him. He used them in rare form. You know how they say the weapons form, but they may not prosper? Baby, them weapons form, them weapons prospered, and them weapons hurt me, okay? But I still stand 10 toes down. At some point, I had to realize that I was breaking myself because I kept pouring into somebody that wasn't pouring into me. I kept loving on somebody that really genuinely didn't love me. People love you for so many different reasons, whether it's for help, whether it's for sex, whether it's just genuinely like they to a point where they're with you for certain things, okay? I blew all the red flags. When I say I blew every light, I blew all of them because I love this man to the point where it was nothing nobody could tell me that I was literally going to believe them when it came to this man at all. That man went and did whatever he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. I'm talking about went to work, hit the streets, did whatever. And I still stood there. And I still stood and felt like, oh, he ain't doing nothing. Everything okay. But in reality, it was hitting me like, when you feel invisible, you have to make yourself be known. Stop allowing a person to feel like it's okay to make you invisible. Because once you become that, baby, you're going to always be that. I sat and I cooked and I cleaned and I did what a woman was supposed to do. And in reality, I got exactly what all women feel like eventually you're going to get when you be too nice, when you pour your heart out, when you put so much into a person that you lose yourself. Oh, Lord. At some point, I knew when to stop. I knew when it wasn't right. But I still kept going because you have no control over who you love. But when a person start putting things into perspective for themselves and start making you feel like you was never that person, that's when you got to go asking yourself, do you really want to stick with this situation? Do you really want to be in this situation? Does this person really actually love you? You have to ask yourself all these things when you already know the answer to them. So you know what I did? I started asking him, how you feel? What you feel? A man will tell you he love you. And the whole time he telling you he love you, guess what he doing? He putting the plate down for the next bitch. Ladies, I'm here to tell y'all, stop preparing these men for the next bitch. Stop putting yourself in a position where you feel like you failing when you really not failing. You just with a narcissist or manipulator that's already put into your mind that it's not right. But when you go to thinking for yourself and realizing things for yourself, then guess what? Self-preservation. It starts with you. You have to get off your ass and on your feet and change the events. Because at some point, you have to know just because you love somebody don't mean you have to take heartache, pain, and hurt. And a lot of us endured it because we love somebody. And we sat there in it in our own sorrows. Never felt bad for myself. At some point, I was like, damn, I can't believe you doing this. Because it shocks you. At some point, you got to know, like, the shit you sat around in and allow people to play in your face, you did it because you was in love. Now that you no longer feel that I'm in love shit, guess what you doing? You mixing and matching and putting shit together and you can't believe that you allowed yourself to sit in that for so long. But then you sit back and you like, okay, you gave everybody love and it was genuine. But when it was time for you, you realized that everybody was being fake around you. You realized that everybody played a part. And you also realized that Why wouldn't they play a part? Because everybody had something to gain, especially from the person with the big heart. At some point, you got to know when to hold and when to fold. Tune in for segment 3.